Welcome back to Box Office Maniacs. Now, tonight, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Normally, we just sit here, it's either Vince or I, or me, or Vince, or whatever. We sit here and we're talking heads. I mean, we just sit here and talk to you about DVDs and, movies and whatever. So, I'm going to try to change the channel a little bit. I would like to sit here and just talk. Because, we're still going to be doing those type of reviews, obviously. But, I still want to just kind of just sit here and talk to you guys about stuff. And the stuff I want to talk to you about today is buying televisions. So it's December. I mean, there might be a few people out there shopping for TVs. A few thousand, probably. So we had a Samsung, and our Samsung was about 7 or 8 years old now. And it still works somewhat, but it's like when the credits come up on the screen, they had lines coming off of it. They look like a straight white lines coming off the top and the bottom of the credits, which, it didn't annoy me too much, but when the movie played, it wasn't bad, but the credits and the words, if there's words on the screen, it would do that. So, being that, I'm running a channel here that I review Blu-rays and movies and stuff, I was looking into getting a 4K television so I can start reviewing some 4K DVDs for you. Now, 4K TVs have been out for a little while, I guess, and there isn't that much out, really, for 4K yet. So it's one of those things that's like, do you really want to get into 4K? Same thing when the Blu-rays came out. It's like, they were out for maybe a year before I finally took the plunge and I bought a PlayStation 3, and I never looked back. I've never bought a DVD since then. Well, it's not true. I have bought some DVDs. If it's not on Blu-ray, I have to buy them. So about a week or so ago, we went to Best Buy looking for a television. And actually, it's one of those deals where, you're going out and you're looking for something. And you're not really going to buy it. Or at least you don't think you're really going to buy it. But then when you get there, you see some deals and you're like, oh, I can't pass these deals up, So that's kind of what happened to us. So we get there, and we're looking at some of the 4K TVs, and I didn't know how much they were. And I didn't know how much better they looked than, because I really hadn't researched any of it, which was unusual for me, because usually I'll take like 3 weeks researching like a cell phone case on Amazon before I buy anything. But of course, when I go out and spend $500, no research. So we go to Best Buy, and we're looking around, and like I said, I wanted to spend around $500, not too much more than that. They had a Toshiba there, and I was like, oh, hey. They had the 4K demo on the screen of the snakes and the islands and the lizards and the turtles floating around. I'm like, oh. It was incredible looking. And it was around $550, I think. I believe I have a picture of the box, so this is what the TV we bought was. So we brought that thing home, and this was probably like 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, something like that. We went out and bought it, brought it home, and hooked it all up. And we also had to buy a 4K DVD player as well to play 4K movies. Now, you can play DVDs, or Blu-rays in there, and it's supposed to upscale it to 4K. And I asked the guy 4 times, okay, you can play 4K DVDs in this player, right? And he's like, sure you can. I was like, okay, that's all I need to know. And he's like, it also upscales Blu-rays to 4K. And I was like, oh, cool, all right. And the Blu-ray player was like, or the 4K player was like, I think $80 or something like that, which wasn't horrible. So then, so we brought the thing home, took it out of the box, and then the pain of putting the legs on this thing. It's just, screws and putting, it's horrible. It's like, putting a shelf together, and all you're doing is putting legs on these TVs. It's a pain. Set the TV up. Now, when we set the TV up, all of our equipment is on this side. Now, all the places to plug everything in on the TV, we're on this side. Again, this is something that we should have researched. So we had to pull the cords from one end and take them over to the other end. But of course, we had to buy also a 4K DVD cable, because you can't watch 4K without a 4K cable to plug into your 4K DVD player. I keep calling it DVD player. Blu-ray player. 4K player. Whatever it is. So anyway, so we did all that, hooked the whole thing up, started watching it, and a soccer game was on. I'm like, all right. Because, you watch sports in 4K, it's like, whew, yeah, this looks great. But, so the soccer game is on, and the camera pans left and right. and it's blurry. It's like the whole screen went blurry, grass was blurry, players were blurry, and it stops and it's crystal clear. I was like, yeah, that's not. I thought, man, maybe something was wrong with the camera when they were doing it. And I kept watching it. Every time the camera pans, it goes blurry, stops, crystal clear. Pans, blurry, stop, crystal clear. So I tell my wife, this is terrible. It's like, we can't watch something like this. So we looked it up, and apparently the TV was like 60 hertz, which, again, didn't know anything about this. And that's why it was having the blur effect, because it was 60 hertz. In order for it not to have a blur effect, it had to be at least 120 hertz. Didn't know anything about that, so we packed the whole thing up, took the legs off, put it all back on styrofoam, took it back to Best Buy. Then we were looking around at Vizios, and I had asked a few people on Facebook about Vizios, and they're like, oh, yeah, they're great televisions, they're fantastic TVs. And Vince even has a Vizio. And I was like, oh, well, I'll get a Vizio. And again, watching the TV looked fantastic. I was like, oh, man, this looks great. Take it home, hook it up again, put the freaking feet on it, screw all that crap in, hook it up, and it has no tuner built into it. And I am a huge fan of Svengoolie, and he's only on network television. He's on MeTV, so I always plug, my antenna into the television so I can pick up local channels. Couldn't do it. There's no place to hook up an antenna to this TV. So that was the first problem. So then I'm like, all right, well, maybe I can get like a digital tuner or whatever, spend another $50 for that. Fine, whatever. So then we started watching a movie on there, and yeah, it was it was Independence Day 2 is what we were watching on there. But it had 3 or 4 settings on the computer. There was either light, medium, dark, extra dark. That was it. It didn't let you have any control of the contrast. Didn't have any control of the brightness. You could not have no control of nothing on the television. If you didn't like those 4 settings, you're out of luck. You can't adjust it. There was no adjusting on the television. I was like, whoa, why? How? This thing was almost $600. It was like $570 or $575 or something. And I was like, this is stupid. This is just completely stupid. Then we found out that you can download an app for your phone to adjust the brightness and contrast on the television. So you had to actually get on your phone and then hook it up to the TV and adjust it that way. I mean, it's like, okay, no. And my wife's like, well, it's fine, it's fine. I said, no, it's not fine. I'm paying all this money for a TV that I can't even adjust the brightness or contrast on it. Doesn't have a tuner. I have to use an app on my phone to use. I mean, this is stupid. This is absolutely stupid. Boxed the whole thing up, took all the legs back off, went back to Best Buy. The first time, I forgot to tell you this, when we took the Toshiba back, the guy told us, oh, that's the worst TV in the store. But yeah, the other sales guy sold it to us. And so we took the stupid Vizio back. I was like, no, I would never buy another Vizio, never. That was it. That's my first and last time ever buying it. No, never. So I've always been a Sony and Samsung person, so I've been trying to save money here, and not get sort of the high-end television. But I hate to use this cliche. I hate to use this cliche, and I hate when people use cliches all the time. But I have to say that you get what you pay for, and that's absolutely 100% true, at least when it comes to TVs. So they had a Sony there I was looking at, but then they had the curved Samsung, when it like curves around. That was around $700, and I'm already like, okay, that's over $100 more than I was planning on spending here, because we were already almost up to $600 with these other TVs. But again, I'm like, okay, we're looking at this TV, and it's amazing. I mean, this TV looked just incredible. Again, it was another $100 more than I was going to spend. So, but I'm asking the person, I'm like, okay, so I want to see network television on this. I don't want to see this demo mode. I've seen all these demo modes and by this time it's 7 o'clock at night. I mean, we've been doing this all day, and I was so exhausted. So he turned on like a football game or whatever that was on. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Man, look at this. This is great. I'll take it. And it actually came with a $75 gift card off the television. So we ended up still spending right around $600, which is what those other crappy TVs were. So finally we brought that home, set the whole thing up, put the legs on, hooked it up, and it was instant. I mean, you can instantly tell the difference between that and all the other crap that we had the rest of the day. It was instant gratification. It was instant, oh my God, this is amazing looking. So that is the TV we ended up with, is the curved Samsung 55-inch 4K television. So we got that and watched Star Wars Force Awakens on there, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous looking. It's so ridiculous looking. It's like one of those things that you have to get used to now. It's like, it's not even a soap opera effect. You know how sometimes you turn on the soap opera effect and it's like crazy clear and it's like weird looking? It's like that times 1,000. It's like, it's really, and this isn't even 4K. This is just regular, you know, whatever. It's just a regular Blu-ray movie. And it looks like, I can't imagine 4K looking any better than that. I'm just like, holy crap. And I also have Ghostbusters, and it's scanned in 4K. That's like one of the few 4Ks that I have. It's not a true 4K, I guess it's scanned in 4K, which I don't know what that means, but put that in there, man, it never looked better. And I've watched it, you know, on my old television on the PlayStation 3, and it was good. I mean, it was clear, but now it's like crazy. It's crazy. It's like they're walking through the library in the beginning of that movie, and you can read all the binders of the books, and you can see the dust, and you can see, it's ridiculous. And that is what I expected 4K to be, and now it's just a matter of getting used to watching a movie like that, and not being distracted by how clear it is. I was also playing Gears of War 4, and that also looked crazy. I mean, I was towards the middle of the end of it by the time I started playing on the 4K TV, and I don't have the Xbox S, but I have the Xbox One, and that's what I was playing on. And even on that, it's just so crazy clear looking. I mean, it's nuts. So after all that, we found out that the Blu-ray player that we bought don't play 4K movies. So then we looked up 4K DVD players, and they're like $400, and I'm like, what? So the one we found was actually on sale for $200. So we ended up, you know, taking that one back, and then now actually have a 4K DVD player, because the one we had, if you put a 4K disc in there, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't come on because it's not made. It's made for upscaling Blu-rays, but not playing 4K. I have not yet watched a 4K movie on there yet. I'm getting some for Christmas. We went out for Black Friday and bought a bunch of 4K stuff for like, you know, $3, and looking forward to seeing what a 4K movie looks like, because I can't imagine it looking any better than the upscaled Blu-ray. I mean, it's ridiculous. So there you go. Hopefully in the future now I'll be able to review some 4K, true 4K, not upscaled 4K, DVDs for you. And that's why I did it. I did it all for you. No, actually I did it for myself. You know, let me know if you like these reviews. You know, if you do, I'll get on here and do more stuff like this. It's sort of like a rambling video, whatever, me just sitting on here talking to you. I enjoy it. I don't know if you guys enjoy it, but I really do want to do more things like this for you guys. So, until next time, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends about the channel, tell people you don't know about the channel, stop random people on the street, grab them by the shirt and say, you need to subscribe to this channel now. But don't call me for, you know, if the guy hits you or woman hits you or you end up in jail, because, you know, I'm not responsible for that.